Have you ever thought of coming to visit Italy? Or maybe even thought about coming here to live here? If so, in this case you might be interested in an interview of an American guy who moved to a small village in central Italy more than 10 years ago, starting a new way of life. Giulia Marchetti of Human Connections here, and today we will talk with Roy Heffner. Roy, an American guy.
Hi, Giulia.
From many places from the United States. I can't say from Chicago.
I was born in Massachusetts, but
Yeah.
I primarily lived in New York and Chicago.
Tell us why you're living here in Villa San Giovanni in Tuscia, which is such a little village in the central Italy. About how many inhabitants? The population is about...
Well, it's the smallest village in area. It's only 5 square kilometers, and the population's about 1,300. It's what I like to call the real Italy. That when I have people come visit, I say, first come and stay with us. This is because where we live is the real Italy. So some people follow my advice and they love it. They just can't. So I've discovered Tuscia, and I didn't know it was Tuscia. I'd never heard of Tuscia, never heard of Etruscans, and didn't know much about it. But this is a fantastic area, and it's really unknown by tourism. There is virtually no tourism here. In Viterbo, there's a little bit of tourism, and Tarquinia, there's a little bit of tourism, but in the area which is now called Tuscia, there's very little tourism, so it's ripe for people to come and visit.
So what is the difference in your life, from New York and here? Okay, it's completely another world.
Well, it's culture shock, because coming from New York City, I mean, my life in New York City was, going out to eat in fancy restaurants, going to bars. There are, for instance, no bars in Italy like we have in America. Italians really don't drink, from what I can tell. I've never seen a drunk Italian. I've seen somebody a little tipsy from some wine. People say, what do you like better, Chicago or New York? And I go, well, when I'm in New York, I like New York, and when I'm in Chicago, I like Chicago. When I'm in Villa San Giovanni, I like Villa San Giovanni. When I'm in the Bahamas, I like that. So I get along anywhere. So it wasn't that big a culture shock, but it was a big change in lifestyle. Much less expensive change in lifestyle. Living in New York is unbelievably expensive. I mean, the average rent for an apartment average is $3,500 a month. In Italy, in our village, you could rent an apartment, a nice apartment, for a year. Yeah, and it's in the center. People say, how far from Rome are you, Roy? I always say, well, it depends. You take the bus, so you have a bus that goes there, there's the train, or you can drive. But, an hour and 20 minutes you can be in the center of Rome. If you take the bus and you travel by a couple of different trains, it takes you 2 hours to get to the center of Rome.
Yeah.
But it's very inexpensive to do that. You can buy an all-day pass for any means of transportation for 12 euros. So it's a piece of cake. And when people come to visit, they stay with us. We go to Rome on a day trip. But it's a very central location. And around here we have plenty of beautiful places to see.
So Roy, how do you rate Tuscia area?
Well, I mean, like a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Well, I would give it a 10 because I live here, and it's such an interesting place. Now, is it different than going to Venice? Well, of course it is. Venice is Venice. I mean, and Rome is Rome, and Florence is Florence, and it's like New York. New York is not really the United States, and you don't find the United States in New York City, and you don't find the real Italy in Venice. You find Venice in Venice. So I love Venice. I give Venice a 10. I give Rome a 10, and I give Florence a 10. Tuscia is very unique. It's just not apparent. It's not like, oh, Venice has the canals. Aha, that's Venice. And, Florence has the Duomo, and Rome has the Colosseum. Tuscia has hundreds of little things, but none of them are famous. You know, they should be. If the monuments I'm talking about around here, if we had one of those in the United States, it would be a national monument. You know, it'd be unbelievable. The current Tuscia is, I always think of Tuscia as the bigger Tuscia, the Etruscan area, and what I really love is the Etruscan history. Most people, certainly Americans, when they think of Italy, they think of Romans. Like Romans founded Italy, and the Romans didn't found Italy. Really, the Etruscans were the first, civilized group of people living in Italy.
In your opinion, which are the top reasons to come here to visit, or even to stay here for life?
Visiting, I think we've talked about, but for me, I had a choice to where I live. I can spend my time anywhere I want. I choose to live here because the quality of life here is fantastic. For instance, food here is, not only is it great, but it's inexpensive. We go to the market in Viterbo on Tuesday mornings, and we buy vegetables from a family that grows the vegetables and then sells them in the market. We bought, I can't even tell you, 15 different vegetables, melons, corn, I love corn on the cob, very difficult to find here in Italy. We paid 25 euros. In the United States, that food would have cost at least $100, if not more. So not only is it inexpensive, it's fresh, it's fantastic. The people here are, I'm the only American. I'm well known, because he's the American. And but the people are very friendly. I've made a few friends. I'm not exactly, a friendly person, but I've made a few friends who speak English. One of my problems has been that I'm not fluent in Italian. I've studied long and hard, I've worked on it, but I'm not fluent, and so I can't really have a conversation with an Italian, and most Italians don't speak English. But they're wonderful, they're friendly. The village, there's lots of events going on in the village. And then the biggest difference between here and America that I can see, and this is true in all of Italy, is the family situation is quite different. And I like that. I like my family. I have 5 brothers and sisters, many cousins. They're all over the United States. Nobody lives together. Maybe you get together once a year at Thanksgiving or Christmas, but here, the people, they grow up in the village and they stay in the village. The family situation here is quite different. The most wonderful thing about our area, and Italy in general, but our area in particular, we have the best olive oil in the world. No question about it. Now everybody in Italy says that. No matter where you go, everybody says we have the best. But ours is just phenomenal. In order to experience olive oil, you have to have it right out of the day it was made, because the day it was made is the freshest it's ever going to be. Olive oil is not like wine, where it ages well. It does not age well at all. With the heat and light, it deteriorates, quickly. So anything you buy in America, it's at least a year, 2 years old in a bottle. So the olive oil here is just fantastic. And this year, for the first time in 6 years, we're going to have a harvest of olive oil. We're going to have a lot of olive oil. So we're very happy about that. So,
if you liked Roy's interview and you want to discover more about the Italian way of life, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and turn on all the notifications so you never miss any video. Thanks for watching, and see you